is When You Make Next Level Board Games, and today we're going to unbox EOS Island of Angels expansion by Felix Murdercat and published by King Raccoon and Grey Fox Games. So let's see what's inside this expansion. I think there are 2 new character sets that you get to play as, which I'm excited about. 2 new nations, I should say. All right. Okay. So lots of pretty artwork here. And then little components and information. Oh, it's just single-sided. Okay, so all the different components that are added in, and then the 2 new nations. So some interesting information about them. So that's good. Who recognizes symbols from the regular game. So here's tracking our protection, etc. I guess there's maybe 2. Let's see. Maybe only 1? That's interesting. Okay. Okay, so there's 1 more protection board. That, and as you can see, let me pull these out so you actually see it a lot easier. These track along the top of each player. Oh yeah, so they both have if you see here, they both have like little cutout symbols. These line up and you sort of just move them along there. And I have to be honest, we have the regular game. We ended up actually cutting these out so that this stays in there, because as you're playing, it just overlays. It's really easy to bump, and it's hard. It's really hard for people with dexterity, and it's really hard to track. If you bump it, you're like, oh shoot, where was I? So I'm not sure why they didn't cut them out, but we just cut ours. Made it a lot easier. So anyway, that's that. And then here are all the parts for the new nations. So here's one. Gloin? I don't know how you pronounce that. So here's the 5 different people you would control. Oops, hold on a sec. And then they're different, what they'll do when you're managing them, and then like your secondary action here. So there's that one. And then that one looks pretty interesting. Okay, and then the second one is this one here. And again, these are going to be unique. So all the characters are unique. They have the same title, but they're going to do, title up here. Like this is always the first officer, and then the treasurer is where you get money. But then these are different amongst all the nations, right? And then you have your secondary actions, and even those can differ too, which is fun. I like that about this game. So there's that one. And then there's going to be all the pieces for these. Okay. So here's the 2 different, the pawns. These basically represent each one of your players. So as you use them, you move them onto the boards. I think this one's going to be red, actually. So you might put it here because you're using it here. Oops. Well, you get the idea. So it would go there. And then the brown ones are for the brown players, so they're just red and brown. Those are the 2 colors for these nations. Little meeples for each of your players. And then little cubes. And here's some of your matching cubes for your nation cubes. So these are used for when you meet different objectives during the game and for tracking other little things. And then here's our little boats for sailing. So again, matching our unique colors. There's those. And then, so you can see a bunch of these little parts popped out. So these pieces, we don't need the little circles in the middle, but these are used to track money for each character and things like that. So let me show you what our little ship card looks like. And this goes next to your nation board. So here are the ship cards for these 2 characters. And you'll know which one goes with which based on the symbols in the upper left. So this one's going to go with this one. So these are the cards, and then you use these to track how much money you have. So like 23 looks pretty much like that. Not exactly, but that's the idea. And there's a couple other places you can use these too. So these are based on character, and then these are our ship cards. What else? Oh, some more. And then here's some special abilities based on each character. So again, you have the symbols at the top, and there's a bunch of these cards throughout the game with the hammer symbol on them that you can add. Each player can have up to 3 per nation person, and then their ship can have as many as they want. But these ones are specific to let me just show one at a time, to your specific nation, and they have special benefits that really make sense for your nation, and they can only be attached to a singular person, where the other ones can be attached to any of the people you want. But those are cool. Usually these are really beneficial. And then here's the other nations one. And again, they'll have ones that'll be related to each person. So like it'll say first officer, and then there'll be the treasurer again. Yeah. So those are based on the your actual nation people. So that's that one. And then here are some cards. So there's usually you have 4 nation cards, and you randomly mix them, and you take 3, and 1 is not available to that game. So this is sort of like randomization for the games. So again, symbols based on the nations. So these 4 are going to be unique. So they're just like special upgrade cards, and they're different amongst all the nations. And again, you only get to start with 3, so every game is slightly different. And here's the other set. So a little bit different. A little bit different benefits. Like that one has 10 swords. I think this one had one that was 6. So they're different, slightly unique. So a little bit asymmetrical abilities and such. And then here, a bunch of little tokens. So these are tokens you use. These are, obviously you can see they match the same nation. And these are what you use for, like, there's a couple places you use them. One, when you do a chronicle action, these go on that little tracker, and then usually it often triggers other little things. But also if you purify the water, you leave these behind and you leave them over the demons so that you don't have to take the demon hits every time you go back into that water. So that's what these are used. And again, they have the symbol that matches the nation. So everything is really unique to the nation. Okay, that's it. So that's everything that's in this expansion. Really the big thing is there's 2 new nation boards you can play as, and all the stuff that goes with them. So the ships, the tokens, the trackers, the unique cards when you start, the objectives, all the little things that you can add, your boats, your meeples, basically everything for 2 new nation cards. So now you have 2 more types of players you can play as in EOS Island of Angels. Thanks for watching Next Level Board Games.